So how many times, I guess, because you talk about how that could be, say, when you're going through this process, that could be 4 to 6 weeks before the funds come back, right, and everything sells off. So is this something that, as far as somebody that's starting new, that they're basically looking, you may be only a couple days each month that you're really spending then on this particular business as it builds and grows? Because once you send the product out, you got to wait until everything's selling and the money accumulate back in. It seems
Right.
like, from my understanding, right? And that's what it seemed like right now. It doesn't seem like it's a big time,
Oh, it's not.
aspect. But yeah, because if you doing everything online and then you're basically putting the money there and just letting it recoup, right? You
Right.
really don't have to necessarily sit there every day and watch it like you're day trading. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right. Oh yeah, no, not at all. So like that churn rate, 4 to 6 weeks, that's your entire inventory. And like honestly, that's super, super conservative. Can Yeah, that's conservative because you get a payout every 2 weeks. So it's not like they're holding it until that six. If you have a couple that sell and you get $100 back, and then you're able to go back into that O list and buy another product, you can do it like that also.
I see what
So
you're saying.
yeah. So as it comes back, you reinvest it. You don't have to wait for that entire 500 or that 550 that you get from that proceed to come back. You do it step by step, and then before you know, you're like, oh, I have a couple thousand. But you don't realize that we are so trained to get this for $10 and go work here for $10 and go work here for $15.
Right.
As long as you have the proper tools, you can spend like 2 hours. You can probably spend 2 hours on Friday, 2 hours on Saturday, 4 hours max, with the systems and stuff that I give to you. And you're like, oh, this is thousands of dollars. Wait a minute, I've sold a couple of candles, so I kind of
Right.
understand how much I need to go into that needs to go into the prep, my operating expenses into that, opposed to being like, I'm gonna buy up all of this from Uline because I need some tier one credit. Like, it's just so many elements. But after you've done it, like, oh yeah, I remember this is how much I put toward
Mhm.
it. So per item, I really, for that month, I really only need this much. So
Right.
it's really like taking stock in that and being like, okay, this month, let me pace myself out. Let me write that down. Like, that's the exact reason why I have a planner to go with it. Cause I'm like,
Mm.
okay, yep, so that let me go on to this one. Well, maybe, this didn't really work. So notating that, knowing how to spread it out and everything, because by the time you make it to 12 months and you use our SOPs and all that, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be able to have a model that you can also cater to whatever industry you want to get into and sell that.
Right.
I
Right.
have these numbers. I did these for my candle company. This is what you need to do for 12 months. And
Mm.
then this is how I funded my actual white label. And then, I sold it on a Shopify or whatever, but I have a better understanding of
Right.
what goes into it.
That makes perfect sense. I like it. It's like a whole little strategic game plan to build it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so,
You don't have to jump into the deep end. You don't.
yeah, that sounds great. So I like it. It's just, what I think that everybody has to realize is, just like everything else, is patience, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
patiently, really letting it grow, really letting it build, right? Because it like you're saying, it seems like, yeah, it will build up if you just, let it keep accumulating over time.
Yeah.
So
And if you
I,
need it,
mhm.
it's not an investment. If you need the money right now, it's not an investment. So based on this model, you really put the money into that business and you let it grow. Like if you're taking it back out, you're starting back out at square one, you're gonna be frustrated, your business is gonna be frustrated. It's just like there's no abundance coming out of it. So
Mhm.
this is a pay into it and then let it grow model.
Right. You gotta really put it in and, like, let it just keep accumulating and flip over. You know what I'm saying? But if you can do that, if you can be patient, right, in a year's time, right, you know what I'm saying, you
Right.
really gonna see large. You're gonna see a large profit amount that start to build up and accumulate.
Right.
as you continue to do it. When you guys were just focusing on that before you got into the white label, how big had you grown just the online arbitrage, I guess, side of the business, just to give people a kind of a frame of reference of where this can go to?
Yeah, so we started out with $500. That next month we invested a couple grand, but at the end of the year, our sales were around 300,000 in online arbitrage. So that is between Walmart and Amazon.
That's crazy. First of all,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so you guys, right? All your listeners out there, right? If y'all checking this out, I know that you want to go in this direction. I know that your idea, your thought process may be something completely different.
Right.
And you're literally just trying to figure out, man, how do I get the money for thus and so? Right? Literally, this is something that's being placed in front of us that actually has the potential to actually do exactly that for us. And not only does it have the potential, not only is it there, you can do it, but you also got somebody who has actually already done it, who is setting up systems so that it can be easier for you to go about it, right? And so April 1st, you guys need to lock in. You guys need to check it out. And I'm sure, if you missed the April 1st one, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to still have some more opportunities for people to jump on for too as well, right? So don't trip if you missed it, right? If you're watching this after April 1st, just lock in, right? All the information is going to be in the description of the video, in the description. If you're listening on Apple or Amazon Music, wherever you're listening to it, it'll be in that description as well. So you can check that out, click that link, lock in with Netta, right? And actually be able to jump on to find out more about what she has that's so valuable for so many entrepreneurs, because guess what? It can literally help to fund something else that you're trying to do, man. So, man, Netta, I really appreciate you for coming in, locking in with us over here. Absolutely. Man, it was such a blessing. Before we close, I definitely, just have that's a little brief, commercial, right? But after it, man, I just want you to just close out, just maybe give some encouragement to somebody who was in the position that you were in back in 2020, right when you guys were about to jump out there and actually start this e-commerce business, right? You were obviously focused. You were obviously spinning the wheels, trying to get out of debt, right? Trying to find ways to make money. But it's like you really didn't. You know who the person you're talking to, right? Just give that individual some encouragement just as we close out. But before we do that, man, and we'll allow Netta to close out, I just want to tell you guys about thanks for watching the Line and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio-only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.